Hello, 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 my darling. Well, it's Friday after Thanksgiving. It's Friday after the day of thanks. It's Friday, the end of the week. Some of you all have been off all week. You've been off since Monday. I hope you've done some wonderful, exciting things to lift up their life and lift up the community and lift up your family. And of course, lift up God in all we do. So anyway, I'm going to take off these classes. We hope they don't fall. We're talking to people 65 and older. I gave you a lot to do this week. Georgian doesn't work on the weekend, so I won't be doing any shows this weekend. But I'm hoping that I've done some of your homework already. 21 things you're grateful for. Did you do your grateful list? If you didn't do a grateful list for Thanksgiving, the day of thanks, because we all know how about that Thanksgiving, that original Thanksgiving. Okay. So that's 65 and older. I need you to do 21 things, write 21 things down for Thanksgiving that you are grateful for. If you can't write 21, then every night write something. There's a group of people who write down every night 3 things they're grateful for. Well, the first 3 things is that you are alive, if nothing else. The secondly, that you can see, that you got a pen, that you can move. That's least, it's a whole lot of stuff to get to write something. So you may as well start with, you're grateful to God to be in here. So in your gratefulness, also, I hope that you are dressed for the day, or you have your Saturday clothes all laid out. We have Monday through Friday, where every day, not if you're retired, well, you got some Monday through Friday. Maybe you've been lounging, reading, super aging, reading other books that you were going to read, writing notes to people. A note is still so nice to get. If you like to write notes, don't worry about the computer. Don't worry about snail mail. Get you some note cards. They're at the dollar store, $1.25 now. Speaking of dollar stores, I went to a delicious dollar store. I didn't know where I was. It was clean, number 1. It was spacious, number 2. And it had everything 3-4 times, number 3. I loved it. It was absolutely great. And so I just want you to know that I've had a great dollar store experience. Now, what's part 2 of all of this? Part 2 of all this is that in that dollar store experience, I went and got some things that I really liked. And you can go and get 2 small things that'll help you get this thing going, get these cards going. If you want to get some cards, you can go to the dollar store, say thank you, or hello, I'm thinking about you. You can get 2 $4 cards. Come on, 65. They still have pens. You can still write, get you some stamps, have you a good time. Okay, that's a good weekend thing. The second weekend thing, always a book. Not necessarily this. I don't get any money. I don't know them. They don't know me. I just like the 7 A's that they have listed for super aging as opposed to default aging. And so you can read a book, or what else? You can volunteer. Volunteer is always good. Okay, volunteer at the church, volunteer at the neighborhood center. Boys and Girls Club need people all the time. I support you going to the Boys and Girls Club. Volunteer in your neighborhood. Like we have a person on my street, they know I can't get down there and pick up one thing. So they pick up the trash in front of my street. They do. Because it's not like the trash people going to pick it up. Although we do have some cleaning going over there, but we got a whole group of people, and I'm going to say my people, that ride through our neighborhoods and throw stuff out the window. Okay? And just throw it on the yard. I got all kind of, it's terrible. It's terrible. I don't like it at all, but I don't know about any other neighborhoods, but I know I don't live in a neighborhood that even supports that kind of folk that do that. But we don't know who, well, we do know. We got, I'm not going to say. Anyway, it's just terrible. So I got people who volunteer to just keep the street clean in spite of what the city is trying to do. And not saying you got to go get your hands dirty at 65, but you can go pack some lunches on at Big Bethel. I don't know if they still have it. Haven't been to a church because I do online. Isn't that terrible? But I do. I think they have a ministry where they make sandwiches. And so they make sandwiches to give to the homeless. I still got this whole idea about the those little houses, those little houses, storage houses. I think those storage houses, maybe old ones, maybe people get new ones and maybe give the old ones to a shelter, and maybe they don't have enough room. I don't know. I don't want anybody outside, but I don't know. I'm just trying to offer some kind of idea of what we can do. I guess the whole idea of 65 and older, you retired now. You have 40 years somewhere. I don't know where it is, but 40 years somewhere. You got all these clothes. I just got the phone talking to a friend of mine. I told her don't give anything away until I see it. But I just finished talking with someone who told me that they got so many things. They just got things. You at 65, you got things, and you need to give them away, okay, or wear them. But get up and put your clothes on every day. I put my clothes on every day of COVID. I didn't go anywhere but to the kitchen. But I look like a queen in the kitchen. Yes, I did. See, the problem with a lot of people is they don't like themselves. And they don't know they don't like themselves. I like Georgianne, you know. I like her well enough to put lipstick on and comb my hair and, put on something. Oh, look, I'm wearing the bracelet this whole week because of High on the Hog. Season 2, episode Defiance. I'm in it along with Charles Black and Marilyn Price Hoyt as we talk about the Atlanta student movement. The discussion is led by Dr. Karshit. I'll get myself together on Karshit's name. Karshit Sims Alvarado. Brilliant woman. And so she takes the leadership, and of course, Mr. Satterfield, who is the host of the show. And there I am in my bracelet as I talk about the burn mark that the man put on me when he burned me when I was marching with my little placard. I don't know why I can see that man today. Why he jumped out. Why did he jump out and burn me with his cigarette? I didn't know him. He didn't know me. We were trained at the bar. Why did he select me? I wonder. What was I? What I was holding my placard. I guess he just got tired, or did I look like somebody he could just put a cigarette out on my arm, and then they could all laugh and spit on me and spit on us, and I don't know, it's something. But 65 and older, you can see that on Netflix. You'll see the whole story of what happened. Let's talk about this aging thing. It takes stamina to age. You know why I say that? Oh, well, let me back up. Put a pin in that. Let me talk about this High on the Hog thing one more time. The reason why I want to talk about High on the Hog one more time, because I'm a woman of a certain age. And if you're 65 and older and you're waiting for your dream to come true, stay with me. Do you know that my daughter found today, it was 2 days ago it happened, the New York Times talked about Georgianne Thomas. I'm the first line of the New York Times article about High on the Hog starts with Georgianne Thomas. Do you know how many times I've tried to get an article or something in the New York Times? Do you know what? I cried. 65, because I'm a woman of a certain age, and God is blessing me still. He has blessed me. I know you all don't understand something. I'm going to say this, but I have met some wonderful people, and I have met just an awesome person that I just love to life. And you just don't know who you're going to meet when. And the fact that I would get my name in the New York Times and it wasn't the obituary, because I said, well, maybe it'll be the obituary. But it was not. God didn't say, no, I'm going to lift you up right now. I'm still in tears about it. And then they talk about the bracelet. This is a Karen Roach, another phase jewelry that I have on. I promote whomever's jewelry. I pay for my jewelry. There's nothing free here. I pay for this, pay for all this. This all came from the West End. What's my girl's name? Margaret owns, I shouldn't call her Miss Margaret, I guess. I need to give her a title. Afrocentric Center out there in the West End. You know, you all don't want to go to the West End. You don't want to go to the Afrocentric Center, but I do. I go buy me something in a minute, and they got $2 earrings. I'm sorry. These earrings also came from Karen Roach. You're not getting nothing for $2 from Karen. I tell you that now. But you know, as I said, my daughter gave me these when she got married. I never had any real pearls before in my life. And then Wayne's mother passed away, and he had her jewelry. He gave me this to wear, Wayne McMillan. So you know, I just want you all to know how things come to you, and they all God does that. You know, you call it the universe, you call it whatever you call it. But I didn't have to have the New York Times didn't have to do a story. They didn't have to do a story and include me. They could have just talked about Mr. Satterfield, which they did several stories on him. But they had a first line star with my name. I'm about to be in tears again. I got this from the pawn shop. Yes, it did. Um, so, and reason why I wanted to share with you, because when you're 65, you said, nothing's coming to me. You know how old I am. I talk about 65, but I'm past 65. I love to be 65 again, but I'm going on. I'm on the other side of midnight now, but it's okay. 3 cancers later, I didn't think, do you think when I was sick and taking that chemo, you know how sick you could be with chemo? It ain't no joke. And then I would get 9 songs on Amazon Music at this age. And then I would get recognition on High on the HOG at this age. And that I would live to see my name in print in the New York Times. And that I've been in Betsy Riley's Atlanta magazine September, October, November. And then January of 2020. On the cover, I've never been on the cover of a magazine. I never had a spread. And the reason why it's, it means something to me is because I tried so hard in the city of Atlanta to be on the city council. I tried so hard to be a state senator, but I tried so hard to be on the city council. And people laughed at me and did everything they could. You all know the real stories behind it. You know how people won and what they did to win. We know those stories. We know the current stories and the past stories, and how you had to be a certain this and that and the other. It had nothing to do with this and that or the other, and how you swallow and say, that's all right, who won. You have to give kudos to the person who won, and you have to support still the community. And so, to level up without trying, knowing that there's so many people that can hold you back. So many people, when I first got out here, there's all kind of things people said, I never understood any of that. I believe in giving from the heart. And 65, you've been through some stuff yourself, but continue to give from the heart. I want this to be a testimony to continue you super age when you give from your heart. When you say you're going to do something, do it. When people act like they don't talk, I had 2 people talk about me on the phone and they didn't know the phone was open. And these are people that I loved. All they had to do was ask me. Just ask me and I will explain whatever it is. I had no intentions ever hurting anybody. And to have people talk about me and these are people that I'm doing stuff with and I'm promoting. People that I love and I work with and I'm promoting and talking about them everywhere. I don't know anything to say but something good. And to know that they all got together, to say something about me was just heartbreaking. But when you turn 65, if you've turned 65 and you're about to be 66 and 67, you've been through a lot of heartaches. And my point for this show is to encourage you to use my life as an example of how people can beat you. Don't worry about anybody. You worry about one thing, pleasing God. That's all you worry about. Don't worry about anybody else. You will super age when you will get older without getting old with all these things they say in here. And some of the things I say, but I'm going to use myself as an example because this is a new book. I didn't have this book at 65. You see? And so when you use this book, this is fine. But you got to use some this. God gave you a heart. He gave you love. God is love. And so when people talk about you, just let them go. Bless them and let them go. Don't take them back. I tried taking people back and they turned around and did it again. I was like, wow. How many times do I need to feel that in my back? I can't do it anymore. Let them go. And let go and let God. It's real. So if you're 65, let's talk about getting you some goals, getting you some things to do. Get you some new people. Find you some new people that's positive like you. It's positive and want to look at the positive side of life. Get you a church and start working in it. Get to be a deacon. Let me see. They have deacon in the Baptist church, deacon in the Methodist church. I may have deacon in the Catholic church. I may not. Maybe crossing lines a little bit. Trustees and stewards in the AME church, and maybe the same thing as CME. But get you somewhere. People need your expertise. You have lived 65 years. You got some expertise. You know how to do some things. You got some knives that you just eat. Don't walk around with those knives in your back. Take the knives out and forgive the people. Bless them, but don't take them back. Don't take them back. Let them go. Let them go. Don't take them back. Because I did. I took this person back. I loved him dearly. And he did it twice. And I said, you know what? I need to let him go. You know, he was a good friend. Been a good friend a long time. Let it go. Don't do it. Just let God do. Let go and let God. Let them go on with whatever they're doing and bless them. Always be encouraging. You see? But let it go because you got something else to do. You got the super age. And how you going to do that? Worried about what other people are doing? You got enough. First, you got all them clothes. Got all that jewelry. Got all them papers. Now, if you finished a college, I can't assume that everybody finished college. But if you finished college, you know the college would take some of those papers you got. You know, for other people to look at how you did things. Especially papers that you felt like you wrote well. Put them in a binder and take them over to a Clark Atlanta University a library. Now, that's everybody's library. Take them to the Woodruff Library. I used to know the lady over there, but she's not there anymore, so I don't know who to tell you to call. Oh, my God. But they'll be glad to take your papers and some books you have. See if they want the books. If not, people in Africa want books. They still want books. And somebody might need that particular book. Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, Atlanta Alumni Chapter. Go online. We have, and our president is Dr. Rosin Pope. Oh, Dr. Rosin Pope. I'm sorry. Bless her heart. May God rest her soul. Dr. Rosin Harper is the president of the Atlanta Alumni Chapter. And we're doing a book. Our international committee is doing a book drive. All books. So if you got books, get us books to the sorority. And give them to, there's another place that's collecting books. Maybe the library on Auburn Avenue. It's a rare book. You know, but if you got some extra books that you think people want to read. I mean, one of the things that I've cautioned, I don't know if they did this, I'm sure they have. You don't send books to people that didn't ask for that book. You're supposed to ask people, what is it you need? But I think this case, they send in just books and let people go through them and find out what they need. You see, all those books over there, I'm going to tell you one of the best places I know besides the Salvation Army is Step Up over on Cheshire Bridge. I told you that's my friend, Robert Barber. When you go in there, you tell him Georgianne. I think he knows me as Dr. Georgianne. Anyway, you go in, he has lots of good books back there. I hope this book is not back there, but, you know, I tell you to look for the book. However you got to get it, you see. So I'm saying all that to say that, darlings, if I can sit here on November 24th, 2023, Friday, I hope I have my dates right, and I can say to you, there's no way you could have told me last week, just last week, no, yesterday, that this name would have been in the New York Times as many times as I've tried to get an article in the New York Times. Only God. I want y'all to pray for me in these glasses. Okay? I can have Karen Roach jewelry and taped up glasses. Now you ask yourself, what kind of foolishness is that? But I want to wear these glasses. Anybody been married to a woman? Your partner? Anybody who knows me? If I say I want to wear these glasses, then I will tape them up till Jesus come back. I will, because I want to wear these glasses. Okay, that's my personality. You know how I am. I'm grateful, 65 and older, that I made it to today. And I pray that you have a great weekend. I pray that we're able to meet again. It's all in God's hand. Whatever it is, enjoy. Got your Saturday clothes. You got some assignments. You got some friends. You ought to have a few dollars. Don't get carried away, because this economy, that's a whole nother. I'm not going to do that. Just don't spend it all today, Friday, and this weekend. You better save you some money. The way the things are going, look at the big print. No, don't look at the big print. Look at the small print. The late Larry Vaughn, I love Larry Vaughn. He said the big print will give it to you, but the small print will take it away. All right, darlings, I love you, and you can't do anything about it.